Morning world, David Staub here with Magical. It's been a little while, so we're gonna roll into episode 6 of shit they don't want you to know. Let's jump right into it. The root of most of your issues and problems, if not ego work, is suppressed trauma. Government doesn't want you to know that. Pharmaceutical companies certainly don't want you to know that. But listen, when you go through something traumatic, especially when you're a child, but even as a young adult, your brain doesn't quite know how to process that. So what happens is you disassociate. And when you disassociate, that is energy. That experience is energy, and it gets pushed into your subconscious mind. That energy stays in you from your abuse, from your trauma, from something difficult that you go through that you have not had an experience or know how to process. Your brain tries to protect you by suppressing that experience and that energy. The problem with that, which this world doesn't tell you, and the powers to be don't want you to know, because then you'll be healed and then you can't be controlled, and you can always come from a place of unconditional love. That's another topic. But it is when that suppresses, the problem with that is that will turn into anxiety, that will turn into depression, that will turn into insomnia, that will turn into rage within you, and it will stay in there and it'll come out at inopportune times. Over time, if you don't go back to process your suppressed trauma, it will turn into chronic illness, digestive issues, autoimmune issues. Any of this sound familiar? Is this resonating with some of you? It's suppressed trauma. It's that shit that you dealt with, that you had that unfortunate experience as a child. You know, Megan and I have helped so many people with healing suppressed trauma. A lot of people get flashbacks in ceremony or whatnot to even childhood things they had no clue they went through. Listen, they don't want you to know this, but it's suppressed trauma. They want you to go to the pharmaceutical companies and tell you to take 5-10 pills for the rest of your life and continue to feed the beast and just keep suppressing that shit down. Not saying there's not a place for Western medicine. I guess it'll help you survive, but it won't help you thrive. I promise you that, okay? So you have to go back to those dark things you don't want to face and process it. There's different ways to do that. Plant medicine, beautiful, powerful thing to do. This is why most people can't sit with themselves in meditation. Why most people have a hard time meditating is because they sit with their own thoughts and themselves, and they don't have these distractions going on. So those things that are bottled up and under the surface start coming up, and they don't want to face it and they don't want to sit with it, which is exactly why Magical was created, to help people process that stuff. But you can do it on your own. Breath work is so powerful. Listen, if you do breath work the right way, the guided way, it can produce DMT in the lungs. That DMT goes up to the brain, goes to those pockets of the subconscious mind, and you will process trauma. Okay, breath work is beautiful, and you can do it yourself. There's different ways to do it. Breath work is great. Plant medicine's fantastic. Meditation, going back to stuff, visualization, the power of your mind, all these fantastic techniques, but they don't want you to know the root of it is actually suppressed trauma, and you have the power to heal all of it. There's also ego work too. Some people need to work on their egos a little bit, but we're talking about suppressed trauma. They don't want you to know that that's the root. It's not some pill that's going to save you. It's not some thing externally you put into your body that's going to help you. It's you going back to those difficult times in your mind. Suppressed trauma is the root of it all. So stop delaying, go back, face your trauma, figure out ways that you can do it, I promise you. And yeah, I just wanted to go over that with everyone. Any questions, you know my DM is always open. Feel free to shoot me a message. This is literally the core of what Magical does, is help people process their suppressed trauma and live their most authentic life. We do still have about 6 slots left in the Magical Inner Circle. Feel free to DM me if you have questions about that, and 3 slots left in the December ceremony. So exciting. Hope you're all having a wonderful end of year. I know it's craziness going on. Remember, put the armor of God on every single morning. Stay in that positive frame of mind. Only focus on best possible outcomes. Stay away from those crazy disaster type timelines that are floating around out there. You're all safe. Everything's going to be all right. And know the root is suppressed trauma. If you've dealt with something difficult, stop delaying. Go back to that shit, face it, and then you can live a peaceful, harmonious life of your most authentic self. Have a wonderful, wonderful day out there. DM me with any questions about suppressed trauma, about the Magical Inner Circle ceremony, whatever. We're here for you. Have a great day. Happy healing.